Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the Bulls Academy have brought us back again for another week. It is What a Load of Bulls with me, DJ Dilworth, and him,
Simon Little.
And Simon, how was last week for you, mate? We rushed away from the last podcast to go and watch some State of Origin with the Rugby League, and it was well worth it, wasn't it?
That was a great watch, DJ. First 30 minutes of that game was unbelievable. Even though there was no tries in the game, for a trialist game, up to that 30 minutes, man, that was fantastic.
Oh, man, it was brutal, so it was. There was no soft tackles. It was just bang, bang, bang. Both sides going at it, mate. And I'll tell you, as a born and bred New South Welshman, I was very, very proud. But no, definitely an adopted state there. But no, it was good to see, mate. So they got the wins on the bowling greens, and they got the wins on the rugby league field over Queensland. So get that up, you.
That was a good week, DJ, wasn't it? Go the Blues on the Bulls green and off the Bulls green. It was good to see.
So there was only the two series to finish off there, wasn't there? From when we recorded last week, the 2 over 40s, and the women managed to get up, and the men went down.
That's right.
Andrew Reese has been pretty quiet since he got back to the club. He hasn't mentioned too much, so I've just let him stew on it too, mate. I'll get him this week.
I don't think Axe mentioned anything to me either, to be honest.
Well, it's not like Axe. He mustn't have played too well. Usually he's pretty quick to tell you how well he went, even if it was just his rink or his individual performance. It's a team game, David. Speaking of Axe, mate, and Taren Point, you guys had your presentation last week. How'd you go?
Yeah, we had our end of year for last year presentation on Saturday afternoon. A little bit different being in the afternoon. Normally it's a nighttime thing, but this year we had something completely different, which I've never had before. A presentation. We had a hypnotist, DJ.
Oh, stop it.
Yeah,
stop it.
And I was dubious at the start. when Razor mentioned to me, I'm going to get a hypnotist on a presentation, I thought, that's not going to go down well. Nobody's going to get up and volunteer for this. We're just going to be sitting looking at this guy. But DJ, it was hilarious.
Was it?
It was a brilliant day. Absolutely brilliant. And to be fair, there was quite a good few people went up and volunteered and sat up on the stage, yeah. And we got a good laugh out of some people, yeah.
Just a few fools made, was there?
Oh, most definitely, yeah. A few air guitars going and nursery rhymes being sung, and even all ages, DJ, from the old folks at our club to the young guns. Everyone got up there, male and female, and good on them. Yeah, it was good fun, DJ.
Unbelievable. That'll be something to behold. I'm sure them guys watching some videos back would have had their eyes open a bit.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, interesting, DJ. Something completely out of the box that you would not expect at a Lon Bulls presentation afternoon. So for celebrating winners, but we had a good laugh too. You got that right. I wasn't expecting that when you brought it up. But anyway, any awards for you, mate? No, nothing, DJ. I got one runner-up, and that was it last year. So shortlisted for Zone Bowler of the Year, but nothing for Club Bowler of the Year. So you just focus on the big stuff, obviously, mate. That's it, DJ. All the efforts went into regional events rather than club events. Yeah, might as well, mate. You got to pick and choose these things, especially when you got a young family now, mate. You can't play on everything. Right. That's it. You can't. Yep, so that was my weekend, DJ, at club presentation on the Saturday. And how was your weekend? What did you get up to? Well, apart from running around after kids' sport and trying to hide from the wind, it was fierce over the weekend. I got to play in that 12th man bowl series that East Cessnock came up with in Leif Selby. Did you see any of that promoted during the week? I've seen a little bit of it promoted, but I didn't actually see any of it. So, interesting to maybe hear your thoughts on that a bit further on what it was. But we were sort of invited. Like, Leif knows Mick from way back, so Mick got in touch with me and saw me. I've been asked to put a team in. We'll just put a Maitland City team in. So one of our guys couldn't go in the end, so I went down with Mick and Brody. Man, I had no idea what to expect getting there. Mick was sort of telling me during the week, it's going to be this and that, and he's like, until you get there and start piecing it together. But Leif's come up with this format, and it's cricket on the bowling green. Yeah. And I tell you what, it was a real novelty, but it was fun to play. And good on him. He put an exhibition on. It was live streamed on Facebook with Happy Bowler. He was able to get Mount Lewis up as well. So Powerhouse Club of Sydney came up with Josh Berry, Nathan Wise, and a young fellow, what was it, Steve Glasson? Okay. So and Freddie Ayub came up. So they came up from there. There was an East Cessnock team, obviously Club Maitland City team, and Raymond Terrace as well, which some people may have heard of. Yeah, they brought a team over as well. Is that the Jets, DJ? Yeah, don't start me, because that was brought up on Saturday night too. I couldn't help myself. Yeah, it was the Raymond Terrace Jets, not the newly formed Geelong BPL, Jets. The Geelong Jets.
You stirrer. Anyway, Raymond Terrace. Yeah, we drew to play Raymond Terrace, and the Cessnock played Mount Lewis. So the concept is you are playing 3 games of singles. Alrighty. One team is batting, one team is bowling. All right. So if you're the batting team, you've got a target up the far end. Luckily for me, it wasn't a giant orange mat like the BPL. But you've got a target up the far end. You've got a center circle with a jack in the middle of it. If you can draw into that center circle, that's 6 points. There's a circle just outside of that gain. If you're in that circle, it's 4 points, 4 runs, sorry. And outside of that, there's a bigger circle gain, which is 1 run. Okay, so you're just trying to rack up.
Cricket scoring system. Yeah. Cricket
scoring, yep. So the bowler then is aiming at a set of foam stumps up the far side. So it is level with the tee, where the old, remember back in the day when the consistent respot was 1.5 from either side of the tee?
Yep.
So playing one direction, it's 1.5 on the forehand side, back to the other direction, it's 1.5 on the backhand side.
Okay.
All right, so the idea is you play an innings each. So the bowler always goes first. So the bowler, every end, no matter what happens on the end, the bowler goes first. So the bowler runs at the stumps. The idea is you're playing 12 ends max, or if you get 12 wickets, then the team's out. So I'll have a first run at it, and then the opposition will then draw to the target, and they'll rack up the points. So the marker's got a heck of a lot to do.
Yeah.
So they've got to mark down the wickets. They've got to mark down the runs as they come down too. So you actually had, on our rink in particular, you had 2 guys on the scoreboard, one doing the wickets, one doing the runs.
Yeah.
You had the marker on the rink doing that. So you had that across 3 rinks, and then you had the team managers trying to keep up with it all. And keep the big board ticking over so you know what you do. So once everyone's out, or you get to the end of 12 ends, you flip over, you go again. Whoever scores the highest runs wins. All right. The idea that Leif had is that you have 2 innings then. So when you go back in for the second lot of batting, you would go to a new target, which is further on down. But because it was only an exhibition, we just said, well, instead of everyone playing 2 innings, we'll all do 1 innings each, and then the two winners of the two games can play off in a final. We actually get a winner of the exhibition instead of just us playing Terrace, Mount Lewis playing East Cessnock and just leaving it like that. So Mount Lewis came out winners on the night. Man, like I said, didn't know what to expect when I got over there.
Yeah.
All right. Then you get there and you start playing in it, and it'll take a lot of getting used to, because you're playing 2 different rhythms. Like I'm running on a set of foam stumps.
Yeah.
And then Jared Bent, who I was playing against, he's drawn. So I'd let the ball go. That'll be me done. Righto. Jared's going. He'd let the ball go. I'd be on the mat ready to go and go, oh no, he's only drawn. I can't go.
Yeah.
You fairly get the old adrenaline pumping, and geez, I broke into a sweat too, mate. Not to mention then the old power plays, actually.
Oh, so what was that then?
You get a batting power play and a bowling power play. So if the bowling power play is called, the match stops. And then you do 1 rink at a time, and the bowler has a run at the stumps. If they get the stumps with that ball, it's 2 wickets.
Okay.
So rink 1 will go, then rink 2 will go, and rink 3 will go. And the reason for that was for the live streaming that we're doing. But with the bowler, it's your next 2 bowls count for double.
Okay.
So your next 2 bowls could be worth 24. Anyway, it was fun. It was fun. It was fun to play, and the guys were all laughing and joking throughout it. It was definitely good banter. It was good to watch first and then get involved and play in it.
Yeah.
I wasn't too sure what to think of it, and then I thought I'll go home and watch it back.
Yeah.
I thought it was carnage. It just looked like,
from a viewing point of view.
Mate, from a viewing point of view, like we were lucky to be there. Leif got us all there an hour early. We had a bit of a trial run type of thing. He told us all the rules and stuff, so we knew what was going on. But if you've just tuned in, if you're just a regular to Happy Bowler and you just tune into Happy Bowler's live stream, if you're watching that, I don't know how quickly you're going to be able to pick up what's going on.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was definitely hard to follow, because I had guys even sending me at the club today going, oh, didn't go too well. Well, I bowled the guy out. I hit 5 stumps in a row, but nobody was talking about that because I missed probably 3 ends in a row after that.
Yeah.
Because like I said, the adrenaline was just like, oh, gotta go get it.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, as a training exercise, I think it's actually quite a good thing. I think Leif's idea is to run a massive tournament later in the year. He was touting quite a lot of prize money in that, but I'll wait until that's confirmed before I go promising things on a podcast. But happy to promote that for Leif. And mate, he's definitely passionate about it. And with Leif's profile, he's one guy that could get this off the ground. But yeah, we'll support it. If it comes up again, we'll probably look at putting something in. But yeah, it was something new. Bit of an adaptation. Spitting bricks here. Adaptation of a drive draw drill.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was definitely interesting. Although you're playing singles, you really felt like me in particular. I wasn't paying attention to what Jared was doing. no matter if he was running at the stumps or if he was drawn to the target, I wasn't paying attention to what he was doing. I was trying to focus on what I was doing. So it was very, very individualized.
Yeah.
As opposed to the team thing. And I can't say I was really paying too much attention, especially on the draw, with what Brody and Mick were doing.
Yeah.
Until the last few ends when you know that the big board's getting close and then you start to look at it or whatever. But it'll just take a bit more experience to get to that sort of thing, I suppose. But definitely 12th Man Bowl series. If you haven't seen it, go look it up on, I think it's CSE Sports is Happy Bowler's YouTube page.
DJ, we'll probably put a link in our show notes. So anyone listening, check out the show notes and we'll put a link to it there so people can have a watch of it.
Go and have a look. You do need to sit down and just really try to pay attention to what's going on. But it was absolute carnage with a live stream, but it was something interesting, maybe something people can use at their clubs, like I say, for some sort of a drill. It's one thing a couple of our coaches have looked at and said already too. So we'll see how we go.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like that drive, draw, drill kind of thing that you're focused on driving and then straight into a draw, maybe, 12 ends later, and being able to do both within a short period of time, as you say, and getting the blood pumping a bit as well. DJ constantly driving and then having to then sort of relax yourself and go into the 12 ends of draw, isn't it?
Well, you've potentially got 48 bowls of driving.
Yeah, that's a lot.
You know what I'm saying? And then you've got to turn around and go, right, I've got to draw to your target.
I reckon Ryan Bester probably doesn't even drive that much.
Oh,
normal
yes,
game,
it was definitely a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, probably I would say then, DJ, as you say, life's passionate about it and trying to get it up and going on a probably bigger scale across different clubs. So yeah, we'll keep an eye out and see what's promoted, and we'll definitely help out in any promotion. So yeah, check it out. If you do see it promoted in social media and like that, at least you kind of have a bit of an idea, listeners, that what it's about. DJ's got involved in the first one, so yeah, let's see what happens, DJ. And definitely a new concept, something different. Why not? Let's try something.
Oh, we need that. We need something. It's going to bring new people to the game. Like, I don't see it overtaking BPL anytime soon, but it's definitely something to get people interested in that, and a bit of a novelty.
Yep, sounds good. Okay, DJ, before we move on to our next segment, last week you had a bit of a discussion on the podcast regarding New South Wales selections and having a squad of 14.
Yep.
Did you get any feedback from anyone regarding that last week?
Not really, mate. There's a few passing comments around the greens. It was good to see, actually, when we were just talking about that 12th Man series when I got there and seeing the Mount Lewis boys, which I don't see too often. Josh Berry was saying he was pretty keen on the podcast. It's there every Thursday for him to listen to. He says, I need to find another partner, but I said I'm pretty happy with what I've got at the minute, but we'll see how we go. But it was good. It's good to see that those guys down there are still listening to, some high quality bowlers and things. But man, in terms of that particular subject, I don't know if we'll get much feedback from it. It was, I know it's pretty close to the mark for some people, but I'll stand by what I said. Was there much mentioned to you about it around the greens? Or?
I did get a couple of comments, DJ, on presentation afternoon, telling me a lot of people listen to the podcast, obviously from Taren Point, and yeah, a few of the lower grade bowlers. This isn't coming from any of our elite bowlers or anything like that, but the lower grade bowlers definitely backed your stance, DJ, with saying that picking a side of 14 diminishes the cap a little bit when you should be selecting 12, and that's your 12.
Yeah. I'm telling them prior to the series how many games they're going to play and which games they're going to play. I just don't see how that gets anyone going, and it's going to make look, selections are difficult as it is, but they haven't named a team yet to play Victoria, but that's going to make that very difficult. Like, especially if you're named
this week, probably, DJ, at some stage.
Yeah, well, the big side was named this week. Was named today. The Legends and the Greenkeepers. So obviously they'll let them guys have their time in the sun. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah.
So we'll let them guys have their time in the sun. But yeah, it's made it very hard for themselves because they've picked a 12 to start the series and they've added 2 to it, and then they've sat down with everyone and said, right, so there's 14 of you, we're going to do this, this, and this by the looks of it. And then now they have to actually pick a 12 based on that. It just, to me, it was turning that into another trial. I didn't like it. I still don't like it. And yeah, it's going to make it very interesting if you were in that original 12 and then you're going to be potentially left out for the next series and then potentially the Ali Shield. But look, like I said, selectors is a tough job as it is. I didn't put my hand up to be one of them. Well, I probably wouldn't have got in anyway. I'm thinking of the state match committee. Yes, we're still dwelling on that.
Not bitter.
Yeah. Build a bridge, DJ. It was pretty quiet, which to me is like I didn't get a phone call telling me off. Anyone pass me say you shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
There's a few people saying, "Oh, I see where you're coming from. I agree with that." And she said some of the lower graded ones. No one of the elite levels come anywhere near it to say anything, but they've got a lot more to lose than what I do, which is probably why.
Yeah,
but it'll be interesting to see when that team comes out. So we'll.
Yeah, look, probably silence speaks volumes, DJ. Is that what they say? So
yeah, can do.
Yeah,
can do.
Okay, so moving on, DJ, to our next topic is having a look at continuing our GOAT series, greatest of all time. We're looking at different countries. Mm-hmm. We've touched on a few countries in previous podcasts, so if anyone's missed out on the previous podcasts, we hit a few countries: England, South Africa, New Zealand, etc. This week, DJ, you delved into Wales. Was our country?
Yep.
What did you come up with?
It was a pretty short trip. It was a bit. I'll be honest, I was a bit shocked by some of the results from there. I was just having a look there. The men at World Championship level got 2 gold medals from the inception back in 1966 up until now, which I was a bit surprised about.
Just 2?
Just the 2. And Dave Axon's not one of those. On to the women as well. They had the 3. They fared a little bit better. And when you look a bit deeper into just the silvers and bronze medals as well, and then Commonwealth Games, the women have actually fared a little bit better than the men, from what I can see. So I had a bit of a look. I'll put my hands up, especially when it comes to the women. I don't know too many high-profile Welsh bowlers from the female side of things from growing up. And could you put your name, put a name out there straight away?
As I said to you off our DJ, high-profile Welsh female bowlers, none really sprung to mind whenever I kind of had to think about it. So, yeah, it's surprising, really, DJ, because as one of the home nations, you'd expect, a little bit of medals here and there. Not necessarily going to be at the levels maybe of England or Scotland, but you would probably expect, Ireland probably do pretty well for the amount of bowlers that are in Ireland, sort of punch above their weight a bit in terms of World Championships and Commonwealth Games, but Wales, you kind of expect a little bit more maybe from what you dug up, eh?
Yeah, well, our wee country's got 6 gold medals in the men's compared to 2 from Wales.
Yeah.
And 7 in the women compared to 3 from Wales. So our Irish women have actually done better than the Irish men. So there you go.
There you go.
Some guys need to pull their socks up there. Anyway, I'll have a quick look, mate. Most of it's just going to be special mentions because, we've found out with the last couple of nations, that longevity thing's not really quite there. There's a lot of in and out, win a medal, get out of the way type of things. But special mention to Janet Ackland, who won the World Singles in 1988. The only Welsh woman to have won the World Singles, so back in 1988. But she was previously in 77, won 2 bronze medals as well, and a silver for the team event, which we haven't mentioned too much from the other countries, but I'm sort of clutching at straws a bit. So Janet Ackland, obviously Welsh legend. If you win the World Singles, mate, you're going very, very well.
Yeah.
More recent one, Hannah Smith. Now Hannah, strange one. She was at the World Championships in 2008 and 2012, Commonwealth Games in 2010, and has transferred to play for Scotland. She now represented Scotland at the 2022 Commonwealth Games. But Hannah, before she left Wales to go to Scotland, she got a bronze and a silver at Christchurch in the triples and the fours, and a bronze again in the fours 4 years later. And she got a women's pairs bronze from Delhi as well. So Hannah gets a mention there. Still pretty young at the age of 38. Betty Morgan, MBE, so services the lawn bowls, absolute 1,000 British Isles titles. But when it comes to World Outdoors, 1996 women's triples bronze, 2004 women's pairs silver. Commonwealth Games, 2006 women's singles silver. So again, when it comes to singles, if you're getting to the latter stages of a World Championship or Commonwealth Games, you're obviously going well. Then we got, looking a bit deeper again, Rita Jones, World Outdoor Championships in 1985, got a bronze. She got a 4 gold medal in Commonwealth Games, a silver and a bronze to go with that from 86 through to 1998. So the longevity's there. She's constantly getting selected, but there's maybe just not quite the medal tally that you would expect.
Yeah,
from compared to other nations as well. One that is doing pretty well now. She's got a World Outdoor title from 2016. She's got a silver medal in the singles from the Commonwealth Games of 2018 and 4 gold medals from the World Indoors. That's Laura Daniels. Laura's only 39. She's going to be around for a while and winning these things as well. So Laura's in the conversation. Again, I've had to drag one back from Australia here. Carrie-Anne Davies. I've had to throw her in here just to get the list up a bit. But Carrie-Anne started playing in Wales. She actually made her Welsh debut at the age of 11.
Wow.
So that's not too many would have made it earlier than that. So she wouldn't. So then she moved down to Australia for a couple of years. Actually won a silver medal representing Australia at 2006 Commonwealth Games, and then a couple of other events for Australia, but moved back to Wales and has done well in the world indoor scene. Look, Kerry hasn't got the world outdoor medals or the Commonwealth Games medals there, but it seems that she's taken a more professional approach behind the scenes in a lot of different sports as well, not just bowls. It seems she had quite a career coaching table tennis as well. We know from watching her play that she was an absolute stunning player. So you got to, in terms of that, you got to put it in there. Moving on then to Kathy Pearce. So Kathy's got a few more medals at World Championship level, but nothing from Commonwealth Games. So champion singles in 2008 at Aberdeen. She won a gold medal. When it comes to the actual World Outdoors, she played in 04, 08, and got 2 bronzes in 12 to go with that as well, and silver in Christchurch in the triples in 2016. And probably moving on to that then, our number one lady bowler from Wales, from what I can see, and that is Anwen Button.
Okay, Anwen. What did Anwen win?
No golds. But she's just been around for a long time, and she's still competing at Commonwealth Games and world title levels. And when she goes away, she does medal. She's got 3 bronzes and 2 silvers from the World Outdoors and Commonwealth Games. She's got 2 bronzes from Manchester and Delhi. A few Atlantic Rim titles, British Isles titles, Welsh national titles, a heap of them. She's been around for a long time, mate. And from what we can see there, I think, like I said, it was a pretty difficult one to go in because I wasn't familiar with a lot of them anyway. And when you go through, there was a lot of just in for one championship, maybe win a medal and out again. It was phenomenal how many have actually represented. But Anwen's the one that stands out for me, so we'll probably put Anwen through from the female side of things. You get to the men too, man. And I think what shocked me the most is because we grew up playing a lot of fellas, right? When we played the Welsh, I always found they were the loudest. Like maybe
and there were fierce competitors too. Like,
fierce competitors, loud, and some good competitors. And there's some names coming up there, but like, they're not really there. I was a bit surprised, to be honest. Like Daniel Salmon has done phenomenal. Like he won back-to-back pairs Commonwealth gold, so he did with 2 different skippers as well. So Daniel Salmon, phenomenal, and he was the world singles champion in 2023 on the Gold Coast. So he's done it at the Gold Coast, he's done it at Birmingham, he's done it back on the Gold Coast again. So Daniel, still only 30. So that's one to watch out for. He's probably one that's going to rack up a few other titles, but there's a few other young lads there too, like in their early 30s, they'll probably do something, but they just haven't quite got over the lines yet. That's like Owen Dando, Jared Bain, Ross Owen, guys that we know from playing against and stuff. Jonathan Tomlinson was another one as well that I thought was maybe would have won a few more things than what he did. But I just remember watching these guys, like playing against these guys growing up, and then watching a lot of them on TV. And just like, I was surprised. I'm really surprised just by how little world titles that there was out there. Another name to mention is worth a mention too. He's still only 46 and got plenty of time, and phenomenal player is Mark Wyatt.
Yes.
Who Axe knows pretty well as well. Mark Wyatt won a bronze medal at Glasgow in the men's triples and came back into the Gold Coast in the pairs and won the gold with Daniel Salmon. No world titles in there, or no world medals in there. Just those 2 Commonwealth Games. But again, from watching him play, you just know he's a fantastic player. Yeah. One of the old school ones, looking more at, well, he has done well outdoors well, but more of an indoor record, and that's John Price. Yes. You remember John Price from back in the day. So yes. 2 Commonwealth silvers in the pairs in 94 and then back again in 98 and 1 silver in the men's singles. He's got a men's singles world indoor title back in 1990. He's won 1 men's pairs in 1999 and then mixed pairs in 05 and 06. So he's been around for a long, long time, John Price, sorry. So he's got to be mentioned. Then there's two big names that I think everyone's familiar with. One's now representing Guernsey, and that's Jason Greenslade. Again, when you look at the record, I was just a bit surprised. So he's got a bronze medal from 2004 in the men's pairs outdoor, 2002 men's fours bronze for the Commonwealth Games, 3 silvers from the World Indoors, 1 in the men's singles, 2 in the men's pairs, and he won the Open Pairs in 2017 for a gold medal there. So phenomenal player. And then he's moved to Guernsey now, and he won the recent World Indoor Singles there that Razor was at in Guernsey. So world champion there for that World Indoor. So that's Jason Greenslade. But moving on to a long-time partner of his, and probably the one that stands out the most from Wales, is Robert Wheel. I find it hard to argue. If anyone knows any better, let me know. But I think Robert Wheel is the standout, and we'll go through as the men's representative from Wales. Men's fours gold medal at the Commonwealth Games in 1986, and then he won the singles in 2010 in Delhi again. Yeah, so from 86 through to 2010, still winning golds. Yep. He had 3 goes at the singles. Started at Manchester in 02, where he got the bronze. Came back to Melbourne in 06, where Kirko ripped his shirt off and ran past him after he won his. Yes. He was the silver medalist in that one. Wow. And then came back and beat Leif Selby, who we mentioned earlier, in the men's final at Delhi in 2010. In between times as well, he's got 2 silvers from the men's pairs at Kuala Lumpur and Victoria. And then the bronze, the silver, and the gold in the singles. World Outdoors, he's only got the 1 medal. Bronze in 04 with Greenslade in the pairs. Surprised me as well. And then there's nothing in the World Indoors, because you always seen him playing the World Indoors.
Yeah, he was always on TV, wasn't he, DJ? Like Potters, he was always around there. And yeah.
It just shows you, I suppose it just shows you the depth of talent that was around in that generation too. Like, because you'd give your left arm for that record. Like, you would. We both would, but just maybe a little bit of luck going their way too. There could have been a few more gold medals and stuff in there. But yeah, it was a pretty short one this week. There was just two standouts to me from Wales, and that's Robert Wheel in the men's and Anwen Button in the female, mate. So that's the 2 I'll be putting through into the GOAT discussion in a couple of weeks' time from Wales. Maybe,
DJ, as you say, thinking about the competitors, like, for instance, Robert Wheel would be come up against, like, in that era, like when you had Alex Marshall, like, in and around there, and even Paul Foster and those kind of guys, not only just from Scotland, but a few of the English guys as well. Like, competition would have been fierce at those events.
Robert Whale to make the podium at 3 consecutive Commonwealth Games in the singles for the men, fantastic record.
Yeah.
Like, he got the bronze in 02. Who won that? That was Bobby Donnelly with Jeremy runner-up. And Jeremy was already the world singles champion from 2000, right? So he comes back in 06, and like we said, he got beat by Kelvin Kirko on his home greens, right? And then he goes to Delhi and he beats Leif Selby. Yeah. Okay. Interesting fact there, though. In the group stages, he finished 3rd in his group, lost 3 games out of 8. I think his record was 5-3. Went on to win the gold medal.
Wow.
So it did in Delhi. So it did. Sam Tolchard won a section and Gary Kelly won a section. And I think Gary beat Sam to win the bronze. So just a bit of fact there for you. But, like, the golds aren't there compared to some other people in some other nations, but the records of longevity and actually going deep in all these competitions are there. And then it just, like we said, it just comes down to a bit of a rub of the green there, a bit of luck here or there.
Yeah.
Like Ali said to you in that message there a couple of weeks ago, like, how many blinking quarterfinals have they been to?
That's it.
It's just at that level, you probably just need that little bit of luck here or there when you're playing the top level all the time. So,
but I wonder, DJ, when you think about it, what makes it? Is there something that makes a difference when it comes down to that pointy end of those tournaments? That it's your Aaron Sheriffs or your Kelvin Kirkos, your Taddies that actually get across the line? What makes them different to the likes of a Robert Wheel or somebody that just didn't break into those gold medals? Or it's interesting to think about that from that perspective. Like,
to me, that's
margins are fine. Like, margins are real fine.
And to me, it's always going to be that mindset. That's what sets us apart. Like, you think about our sport, a 7 grader can draw side, rest, and touch it the same as what we can, but it's the ability to do it over and over again and then under pressure. It's definitely a mindset thing. Like, a lot of this sport is mental over physical. So it does come down to that. You don't want to sit here and sound like you're going down on somebody's record. It's a fantastic record. I was just, when I went to look at it, I was just very shocked with where the records were sitting on. I thought Wales maybe had a few more wins there, because I just remember seeing them all the time and they're always going deep and things, but just, maybe a few more goals. I wouldn't have been as shocked. And maybe if Dave Axon had stayed in Wales, he might have actually done something in the game. You don't know.
Well, DJ, I think Australia and Taren Point have definitely benefited from Dave Axon making the move out this way and bringing his talents to the shores of Australia and Sydney. So I think Welsh Bulls lose out there, mate, to be honest.
I'll let you have that, mate, but I'll tell you what, you're definitely different off air to on air, aren't you?
Oh, please.
We love him. We like a bit of banter with him, so we do.
That's it.
So he's a New South Wales Blue now, mate. He's loving life out here. He's done all right out here. So as we mentioned earlier, Simon, the couple of rep selections coming out this week, but the big one is out there already.
What's that one, DJ?
New South Wales Legends versus the New South Wales Greenkeepers. The one that everybody looks forward to every year. So they do. So some legends of the game named in that New South Wales Legends side, and some people that think they're legends named in the New South Wales Greenkeepers side. So they were.
Who are those ones, DJ?
Couldn't help but notice Cal Hansen didn't get picked again, buddy. But he can play for Australia.
Can't get on the Greenkeeper side.
Yeah, no. I mean, there's a few of those Greenkeepers throwing my name out there to get their 15 minutes of fame. There's a young fella from Matty Keogh who's not very well known. He likes to throw my name about there just to get some publicity. So we'll give him his 15 seconds in the sun so he will know. But mentioning Matty, he's just into me all the time, mate. Into me all the time.
What did you do to him, DJ?
Well, you know what I did to him, mate? I worked with him in 2009 at Albion Park Bowling Club. And you know what happened that year? Matty Keogh won New South Wales Greenkeeper of the Year. Now, that's the only year that he won it. That's the only year I worked with him. All right? But he seems to just try to drag my name through the mud. I'm not having it anymore. I'm not having it. The facts are there, Matty. I worked with you.
You helped him
in 2009. Me and Regan Marmont as apprentice. All right? We worked with him in 2009, Albion Park Bowling Club, cutting the hedges, rolling the greens, doing everything for him. And he won New South Wales Greenkeeper of the Year that year. And the major singles that year. He had no pressure on him that he could just go out there and win a major singles as well. But he's just intent on just calling me the Irish wrecking ball. Like, unbelievable. Like, all I did was cut a hedge cord, knock over a corner post. I had a roller fall off a ramp, which I'm not too sure he actually knew about.
I was going to say, DJ, that
snapped the 2 meter marker.
You on the roller, right?
I snapped the 2 meter marker on him. He was off that day and he's come in the next day. I mean, I've been cutting hedges since like Dad's had me cutting hedges since there was no height. And you know to keep the cord away. And the one time I do it at Albion Park, he's not there that day. It's just me and the apprentice. I've cut the cord. And then we were getting the green ready for social. So we've rolled the green. I've put the roller off the green. I've marked it with a 2 meter marker with the old chalk. And I'm thinking, I don't want to make 2 trips to the shed. I'll be resourceful. I'll put the marker on the roller. I've pulled the hinge down on the roller to lever it up and snap the marker. So Matty's come in the next day. And Regan's had an eventful night that night. So Regan's sitting in the shed waiting for him, a little bit worse for wear. And there's a 2 meter marker G clamped with wood glue dripping everywhere. And a hedge trimmer with a cord cut. He's just gone off his head, mate. He's gone off his head. Mate, I absolutely love the bloke. He came to our wedding. We played 3 grade pennant that year. We go down on Saturday morning, get the greens ready, head up to a well-known bakery at Albion Park, have a ham and cheese croissant. He'd have a coffee, I'd have a hot chocolate. Then we'd go down there and just absolutely tear it apart in grade 3, mate. It was a good time with Matty. I have a lot of time for Matty, so I don't know how he's playing third in that team. Matty Miles has obviously got a lot of patience. But Matty's been throwing my name around out there, and a thank you would be nice, Matthew. Thank you would be nice.
Yeah, thank you for all that help back then, DJ, that assisted Matty to win Greenkeeper of the Year.
Yeah. Oh dear. So after that trip down memory lane, there is a game of bowls going on. It's a yearly event for those that aren't familiar. Bowls New South Wales pick a Legends team, and the last couple of years since unification, it's been a mix of men and women's legends playing in that, and they play against the Greenkeepers. And it's always a competitive game. The Greenkeepers make a good day of it. They name their Greenkeeper of the Year and things on that day. Sean Ballotti was last year's one. I was lucky, actually. I went down. Brody Pitham played last year, and I went down with Brody. It was good to see, because I had a lot of time with Sean too at Thurrool. It was good to see Sean actually get commended for his job. He's one of the best Greenkeepers I've worked with as well. So always good to see me. But yeah, that Legends side's just full of it, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And yeah, if anyone's knocking around, it's on Fig Tree Sports on the 29th of July. So if anyone's knocking around that area, got a spare few hours to kill, jump in there and see Legends versus Greenkeepers. But yeah, as you say, DJ, some of the legends there that are on. Brett Dupre, DJ, good friend of both of ours. Yeah.
Yep.
He's skipping him
Milton Oladulla now.
Yeah.
More clubs than Tiger Woods.
You know Brett from Albion Park days, don't you?
Yeah, I do, mate. Had a lot of time to do with his dad there, and Brett's been very good over the years too. He's always good to pick a brain every now and again. Might even get him on for an interview from his time in the Australian squad as well. Playing with Jared Bede as well. The local chemists will be selling out of knee braces with Jared and Brett playing together, so they will. Jason Stokes, Katrina Wright, Jeff McGilvery still going. Kim Jacks from up here at Charlestown, he's still going very well up here. Jared Short, Robbie Warren, Taraji. Yeah, I mean, it's just full of talent, isn't it? The old legends. So they keep rolling them out there. And then, but the Greenkeeper side's no slouch either. You Benny Moorthorpe there from Cabramatta, Matty Miles, who's just recently retired from New South Wales duty. Obviously, it is at Fig Tree because Matty wouldn't travel too far to play in this thing. He's obviously been allowed the day off to play in it.
So going to get paid to play, DJ. He'll be doing the greens that morning.
good to see Peter Thornton there, who listens to the podcast as well, still claiming that he's from Maitland City from the thing I'm looking at. Last I knew he went to Lorne Park and then East Maitland again, so good to see he still wants to be attached to Maitland City in a way. Hemi Palmer there, Champion Pairs winner. Jaden Gebby, Jordan Thompson from Engadine. He's very good if you ask him. I don't know if we want to put this in, but I found out Jordan's nickname the other day, 4020. Brilliant. Sorry, that was absolute gold. I like that one. Mally Keogh filled me in on that one. That's brilliant, 4020.
Jordan's worth good value. He takes a good laugh, yeah.
He came up and played our tournament last year, the Terry Harmer. You know that one that you used to come and play with me in before you got too big for your boots?
The one that I ditched you, yeah.
Yeah, the one you ditched me because you like to make money on a weekend instead. He came up for the first time there. I had a lot of good fun with Jordan, so I did. So very good. But yeah, some cracking. Should be a cracking game between the 12 rinks. So it should, mate. So yeah, anyone's around Fig Tree on the 29th of July, duck down there, have a look at some legends of keeping the greens and some legends of bowling on the greens.
Absolutely, DJ. Yeah, takes a lot of effort to keep our bowling greens up to scratch, and yeah, a lot of those guys put a lot of time and effort into our sport, and yeah, it's nice for them to have a day out on the greens and be celebrated for all the hard work they do across the year. And DJ, one thing was when we came out here, one thing they didn't do back home on the greens when they totally renew a green. The amount of effort goes into redoing a green.
Hey, you're telling me?
Oh, just wheelbarrow loads of soil.
Matty Keogh sucked me into that. He goes, "Oh, a couple of wheelbarrows. Come on down." Me for 3 hours. Me and another fellow just wheeling barrows. Unbelievable. It is. But it just comes down to the resources that they've got out here as well, mate. So to be able to do that, the money in the clubs to be able to do that, because it's not cheap to do either. First time I ever seen the laser level come in. The laser level machine actually do that as well. I mean, that's what the effort that they put into is just phenomenal, just to keep these surfaces up to standard. It's no wonder that it's the best place in the world to play. Yeah, in our opinion,
And actually, DJ, we had a committee meeting tonight, and we actually spoke about probably the first time that we're going to have 2 greens out at one time getting renewed, just the way they want them to all fall back in line and have 3 available at a certain time of the year. But it's interesting when you've got 3.5 greens at Taren Point. 3 of them get constantly renewed every year. And I remember the first couple of years when I came over here and seeing it, I was like, "Do you guys rip the green up and redo it every single year? You'd redo all these 3 greens?" Yep. I'm like, you'd be lucky to get somebody to cut the grass back and pour it on, DJ.
Yep.
You've never seen a roller before I came over here to Australia.
First time I ever seen a roller was actually in Northfield, in Ayr. I was, what's this thing on the green? But then you come out here and they've got some clubs have got 1 per green. It's incredible, just the infrastructure around here around the greens too. And there's some clubs will renovate a green once every 2 years or something. I know our number 1 green, it needs it every year because we're in mine subsidence area. But just the work that goes into it, mate, it's a tiring exercise. I've got roped in every year with Dipper and Brody up here, or whoever Dipper's had working with them. Tend to put my hand up and try and give it a go, mate. It's just phenomenal what they actually go through. Yeah. You wouldn't have had a crack though, would you?
No, DJ.
You wouldn't know how to lift a wheelbarrow?
No.
That's saying something coming from me, mate. Be ashamed of yourself. These lovely office hands only get out there once every couple of weeks during November.
You don't even roll up, you tell me, so you aren't going to renew grains.
Yeah, when you're this good, mate.
Greenkeepers, guys put a lot of effort into the greens over here, and it's definitely a skill and an art to keeping the greens good. And
were you just having a joke earlier when you said that the Legends team was sponsored by Deep Heat and Danko Rub? Because I can't actually see that there. You said that off air, but didn't you? Oh, he's gone quiet again. Nah, it should be a great event. I went down and watched it last year. Like I said, man, it's a great event. They have a lot of fun doing it, and it's great to see that happening every year. And all them players giving up their time to keep doing that each year. It just keeps everyone involved in the game, and just shows that Bowls New South Wales appreciate the Greenkeepers that are out there as well. So it's a great event, mate, for not just on the green but off the green too, and what it actually symbolises.
Maybe DJs maybe you could throw it out there that some year maybe there's a bowls manager, bowls coordinator team chucked in there.
Don't most of them get paid to play anyway? I'm the only one that doesn't. I'm the only one paid for my admin skills and not my bowling ability.
That'd be a fair side if you put together Bowls admin team. That'd be across the state. It'd be some pretty red hot side. Be hard to choose 12, I reckon.
You nearly put 12 in from St John's Park. Look at that money in the office. What are they all doing?
Maybe you could be the cheer squad for them, DJ.
Yeah, St John's Park.
You probably wouldn't
St John's
make the 12.
Cabramatta would take up the whole side for your sake. Yeah, if they need a good manager, mate. Speaking of that, that leads on to our next topic, and it is trying to keep the talent from regional areas, trying to keep it in the regions, because too often you just find them, they're just drawn into those bright lights of Sydney or Newcastle in recent years as well. There's quite a few in and around this area too. They're drawn with those big lights and the paychecks and just, I suppose, the standard as well. I mean, I think it's something that's slipped over the years. What do you think around that subject yourself, mate? Of how do you, obviously looking at the number one pennant, it's dropped off a bit.
Yeah,
platinum pennant. It's massively dropped over the last lot of years. They brought platinum pennant and try and make an elite competition this year, but how are we going to get the standard of bowls in the regions back up to where it needs to be, where we might get a number one state winner from Zone 4, Zone 8? Wagga Wagga, double. What's it going to take? There's plenty of players have come from there. Corey Wedlock, for your sake, double world champion, came from Urunga.
Yeah.
As is the way nowadays. You want to make a name for yourself in the game, you move to a bigger club where they're going to pay you, give you a job, allow you to be able to play, and then you move on to bigger and better things. But how do we get them to stay in that area?
I think, definitely it's a tough one, DJ, for country clubs, and something they have to battle with. If they have a young gun player up and coming, they're obviously going to get the draw of coming to a Sydney club or down in Wollongong, or as you say, up Newcastle area. Because some of the clubs are able to say, we'll give you some money, we'll offer you a bit of a job, we'll allow you to go and play in certain tournaments. And that was one thing, DJ, that I kind of found coming over, was to be able to hold down a full-time job and also play in competitive competitions. You kind of had to choose one or the other, because it's pretty difficult to say to your company or who you work for, oh, by the way, I need to take this week off because I'm going up to Gold Coast to play in a tournament. And then a month later, oh, by the way, I need to take 4 days because I'm going down to play a five-a-side down south somewhere. Yeah. Oh, it's really difficult. And I think that's the challenge for country clubs, that obviously some maybe do or some maybe don't bring in the same revenue as what Sydney clubs do.
Yeah, that's what it all comes down to the money, doesn't it? Yeah. Really, there's no two ways about it.
Definitely boils down to that. But could clubs offer something other than money? What do you think?
It just comes down to those bidding wars. My big thing, and I mentioned this to you during the week, and it's maybe too far gone now, because we did mention during Platinum Pennant that Cabramatta was the only team without the 2 marquees being utilised.
Yep.
But how many of those players are genuine Cabramatta players that came up through the ranks and have been there for a long time? They're usually, in all honesty, they're usually bought in.
Yeah,
you get Victorians in there, you got Queenslanders in there, you got people from out west in there. It's the way it's gone to. It started to happen prior to us coming here, and a lot of people blame it on the old Premier League. So it's too far gone. But my suggestion around that would be, if our elite competition was played in such a way or in such a time of year that it would allow these big clubs to, because realistically they're recruiting these top players because they want to win. That's what they're recruiting it down for. It then means then that all your talent is pretty much in that little Sydney area there where Cabramatta, St John's, those big clubs reside. So when you come down to your regional singles, that regional singles in the men's is nearly more competitive than the state singles.
Yeah.
You got so much there.
Yep.
Can we get back to, like I said, it's probably too far gone now because they're all pretty much already in there and it's set in its ways. But if you had such an elite competition that Cabramatta, St John's, Taren Point, all those clubs that are in it, can bring in marquees from New South Wales, say at an unlimited rate, okay? And just say, right, you're not going to get charged a marquee. If you want to go and spend X amount of money to bring in, like Nathan Wise was from Dubbo at the time, okay? But he's still allowed to say Dubbo's my main club. I can still play all my regional championships out there. But I'll just travel down, play in this elite competition, and then go back and play for my club. That would be the way to do it for me. But it's hard to get around it now, mate, because as soon as anybody shows any promise, they're snapped up. Some clubs out there trying to snap up the next junior.
Yeah.
Move them down to their area, take them out of the area they're in, all right? And you produce more talent by having talent in that area. Like Cabramatta just won the Platinum Pennant and they just won the number 1. So they've got a top 24 there that is very high standard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're not just talking 4 or 5 players.
No.
Yeah, you're talking 2 grades.
Talent breeds talent. And if you're winning and you've got a winning culture, that's what draws people in there. I want to go to a club that's winning. So because it's already at that level, I don't know how we get back around it again. I really don't. Like clubs in the regions have got to do what they can to produce their young talent. And it's hard now because we're in such competition with other sports. Like rugby league is just mainstream. Like it's hard to get kids out on a Saturday. Why would you want to pull them out of that? Sometimes you got to ask that question. Why would you want to pull them out of that sport that they can play until their late 30s? And come and do, be physical, be active and stuff, which a lot of people say is a problem with the nation at the minute. They're getting bigger. Let them do all the active sports and then come back to bowls.
Yeah.
That's an argument that you get quite a lot too. And then, so the junior pool is pretty small, but there's some quality ones in there. But like I said, as soon as you get one, there's a couple out there gunning it at the minute, they're going to get snapped up.
Yeah.
Because someone down there is going to go, it's the next big junior. I want you to come play for us. And they want to, because they're so far into the game, they just want to play the game all the time. They're going to get a job that's going to allow them to play that game. And sometimes working up there in the mines doesn't allow you to do that.
Yep.
And that's one battle. And that's part of the reason that my side hasn't gone into Platinum Pennant, because we do have those external factors that don't let the guys be able to play all the time. So that's why we've got that. Razor touched on in the interview, we need to have some sort of an elite player tour as well, because there is just a bit of a divide. We need to separate it a little bit, I think, for those guys that do play full-time and then those guys that just play
so
when they can.
You're saying had to have a really standalone elite, whether it be a tour or competition, and then just have your regular pennants for the guys that work full-time, work shift work, can commit to bowls 100% throughout the year, but have your elite competition that's just solely for guys that can commit to bowls on a full-time basis.
Yeah, it's just such a hard one, man. What can you offer someone out in country New South Wales compared to what they can get in the bright lights of Sydney? There's just always that draw card of you can play more bowls and get paid to do it if you come to us rather than staying up where you are and just battling.
Yeah,
it's just such a hard one.
And it's not necessarily getting a full-time gig of getting paid just to play bowls.
No.
It's getting a little bit of cash for playing bowls and that offer of, well, we can give you a part-time or casual work as well that allows you to go and play other tournaments in other states and play for other clubs in other premier competitions. And I think that's kind of the draw too as well, that you've got this flexibility of, I'm actually going to go to a club that's going to allow me to take time off or have that built into your contract that you can actually go and play certain events throughout the year. I think that's
working for yourself too, isn't it? Really, like it's the only other chance you've got.
Yeah, self-employed DJ, which is hard.
It's very hard because starting that out too, like you're working 24/7 to try and get something off the ground that would enable you to then go and be able to do that.
Yeah, interesting to hear, DJ. If any of our listeners out there from country regions have any input with regards to that topic, we'd love to hear from country clubs and what their thoughts are and any experiences in the past from clubs. Yeah, get in touch with us and
just to see what we're talking about there. I mean, you just have to look at the recent men's stateside that was named there. Like Nick Cahill, Cabramatta's employing him. They've brought him down from Queensland. Peter Taylor's still up at Alstonville. All right, and he gets around. He plays Tweedhead for the Premier League in Queensland. He came down and played Platinum Pen. So Peter's the type of example I'm trying to use. He can stay in his hometown, work, and still get around and play. He doesn't need to go to Cabramatta to still get picked in the stateside. Or Sydney, not even just Cabramatta, but Sydney. And then you've got Carl Healy again, employed by Cabramatta. You got Lee Schreiner, who's got his own business on the side and plays at Raymond Terrace. Cody Packer from Western Australia, now employed in Sydney by Marylands. He's been drawn over there for that particular reason as well. Yeah. Corey Wedlock's at Warilla. We mentioned Corey earlier, started at Urunga. Aaron T's at Warilla, started at Ballina. He's had to move down there for that reason. Aaron Wilson brought up from Victoria to Cabramatta. Daniel Hill at Charlestown still working, but he's working in the club.
Yeah.
Which enables him to go do that. Brett Spur, now Brett's a different one as well. He's actually residing in Victoria, but coming up and representing Mount Lewis. But same thing, like he's traveling to play at that elite level. Fergo's been around for a long time as well. He's worked at every club that he's played for too. Benny Twist was originally from Queensland. He's a stalwart at St John's now. Like he's been there for as long as I've known. But again, from Queensland. Jay Bruce is still down at Malua Bay, but I believe he's going to start travelling up to play for another Sydney club.
One of our rivals.
One of your rivals, And then Jay by Norris is at Curry now, and he's come up from Victoria. So these guys are all at that level because they're all playing. They're all able to do it because they're at a club, pretty much.
Yeah, they're employed by Bulls
so
Club.
It's just the way it is. I honestly don't know. I mean, we're just two guys with two microphones. I don't know how we get around that anymore. I really don't. Like, do you turn around and say in the New South Wales team that you can only pick two people from each club? That's the maximum you can pick from a club. Because then are guys going to turn around then and go, well, hang on a second, I'm behind X, Y, and Z. And only two of them are going to get picked. I have aspirations to play for New South Wales. Do I need to move on? Like, is that going to help? Is that going to help spread people around the clubs again and spread the talent out?
Interesting thought, DJ. Really,
this is us just thinking off the cuff now. Like, we look at it in a bit more detail, but is that one thing you do? I mean, like Cabramatta's got. I keep picking on Cabramatta. I don't want to pick on Cabramatta, but they've got three in the men's states out there. But if you turn around and says only two of them could play, like, what about the other guys that are unlucky not to be in there? That are playing at that particular club, or guys at St John's that are playing at that particular club, they're probably good enough on their day to play at that level. If you turn around and say there's a bit of a roadblock there, actually, because they want to spread the talent out, but money talks, mate. Money just talks in the game.
Yeah,
like I don't know whether New South Wales have the ability to even do that, or whether it's worth their while. Is it going to cause them too many hassles? Like it's one thing, maybe, like I said, thinking off the cuff. If you did that, people have to move out of the club if they have aspirations to play higher. But does that aspiration to play hard disappear when you're making money? That's what it comes down to.
Interesting, DJ. Yeah,
it's something that that's something that we're not going to answer here and now, but it's certainly something that up for debate, I suppose, that people could comment on as well from this particular podcast.
Yeah, I think you've definitely made a point there, DJ. It'd be interesting to hear if anyone's got any comments on that particular subject that you've raised there, DJ, regarding the regional clubs and holding on to players, and not necessarily just players, but maybe volunteers as well, DJ, or people moving on to other clubs. If anyone's got any comments, please flick them to us. Email, jump on the social media, flick them on the comments there. Be interesting to hear, DJ, if we've got any listeners that have got good experience or in that area.
Absolutely. Let's hear about those battles that the little clubs out there in regional New South Wales are fighting each and every day to both stay afloat but also keep their talent. So moving on, buddy, to a bit of a finish. Last week we plugged your TBA shop. So we did. You got a fair few items on there. I believe the targets are nearly sold out already.
Absolutely, DJ. Yeah, I've been sending them across every state in Australia.
And we've got two coming, mate. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I told you they were in the post, didn't I?
Absolutely, looking forward to it, mate. But I mean, if you're hesitating, don't hesitate any longer. They're hot commodity there. Make sure you get onto them.
There's only a few left, DJ. So yeah, any of your listeners want some, just get on quick, because you might have to wait a few weeks before any more come back in.
I mean, them Bulls cloths are fairly making it around the world too. I've seen photographs from Canada. I've seen photographs from back home, Portadown. Geez, you're fairly getting them around there, aren't you?
Yeah, there's been a few sent across the waters, DJ, and yeah, they definitely work wonders over in the UK, DJ. There's plenty of water over there in the greens, so definitely need a Bulls cloth.
You need a decent Bulls cloth, don't you?
Yeah.
I was good to see Ryan Craig over there in Canada get one, mate.
Yeah, he's a good friend of ours, isn't he, from back in the day? And he had a break from Bulls. He was a bit of a gun back in the day, DJ, whenever we were under 25.
My first international series, Ryan's come up and they've checked his Bulls and the Bulls weren't legal.
No way.
So Bulls weren't legal, so he wasn't allowed to use them. Luckily, someone else had a similar set to him, and he used those two, and he's never played better. I think he wanted to buy them by the end of the series. It was fun. I just remember going, how do you go over to this type of thing and you don't even have your Bulls stamped? And then he just absolutely burned me, so he did.
Yeah, he played with us on the friend out there. He played in the Irish under 25s with DJ and myself, and yeah, he was in the same association as me, not as you, DJ, but any under 25 competition, singles, whatever it was, Ryan was always at the pointy end of competitions and fierce competitor. Always feared playing against Ryan. So he moved across he was in Mexico for a while living.
He was. He's been a bit of a globetrotter, hasn't he?
Yeah, wasn't playing bowls for quite a number of years. I think he said it's been nearly 10 years or so from he played bowls. He's recently moved to Canada.
Couldn't find a green in Mexico?
Nah, and he's playing bowls in Canada. So yeah, he got in touch with us and
not just playing, mate, winning.
He's winning, yeah. Back to old winning ways. So good on him. Yeah, good to see.
And the uniform he was wearing, I was quite impartial to the uniform he was wearing there with the old Glasgow Rangers shirt.
I did see your comment on that. Yep.
Look at you playing political correctness and not backing me up there.
Yeah, we've got a few bowls class floating around, DJ, and anyone's getting out there, we'd love to see some pictures of them wherever they are. And if anyone wants one, we are offering free delivery within Australia. So just jump on the TBA shop online and be free delivery within Australia.
Very good, very good. Yeah, mate, good to see that going well for you. I think that's pretty much all for this week, mate. So what have we got coming up this week? We're both playing bowls this weekend.
Yes, we are. Yep.
Regional championships. DJ? You've got I'm in the pairs. Our pairs kicks off up here at Hunter Valley Bowls, and you're in the fours, mate. And red hot four you've managed to get yourself into. Yeah, what's your four?
It's myself, Kyle Hansen, David Axon, Ray Pierce.
Yeah, I haven't heard of them last two.
Yeah, I know. He's just world champion.
How's it feel with the favourites tag around your neck? Is it weighing heavy? Or?
It's just one game at a time, DJ.
One game at a time. Listen to him, yeah. Now we've got the pairs teaming up again with Dylan Riley. Made a few semi-finals. Time to get over the line, get into the final, and see what we can do. But yeah, now the season's we've had that bit of a break since the last season finished. A couple of weeks off. Now back into the thick of it now. So we've got pairs coming up this weekend. A couple of weekends time against the fours, and our major singles is going to kick off as well, mate. So plenty to talk about on this podcast in the weeks to come.
Hopefully, next week we've got some wins on the board after the weekend we can share. And maybe those targets, DJ, hopefully they reach you before the weekend and you get out there and get a bit of a roll up and help Dylan.
We'll see how we go.
Are you paying him to play at the weekend?
No, maybe. In all honesty, we couldn't find anyone else between the two of us. We're just the last two left. Everyone else went and teamed up, and we've just gone. Oh well, looks like we're together again. So no, we'll give it a bit of a shake, man, and see how we go.
Well, good luck hopefully at the weekend, DJ, and hopefully we can speak of wins.
Hopefully the 12th man's got me ready to go. So that's that'll do for this week, folks. So we'll be back again next week, hopefully with some good news for you all. So just remember, keep that little disc on the inside, and we'll see you next week.
Good luck on the greens, everyone. We'll catch you next week.